How many hours does the average American need to work each month to pay their mortgage? And we're going to break it down by city. This is interesting right here, my friends. In fact, incredibly interesting. I love this website. A guy or a lady sent me this via my YouTube channel as a comment. He said, or she said, you might like this site. So let's dive into this. This is, don't forget subscribe. Look, subscribe. And then, of course, comment, thumbs up, the whole thing. So let's look at this, my friends. How many hours Americans need to work to pay their mortgage? Oh, man. I love this stuff. Many people define the American dream as owning your own home, not to mention a comfortable lifestyle, healthy children, and a secure retirement. Not sure they go hand in hand. But anyway, the ability to afford a home, let alone all the other things, depends entirely on where you live and your level of income. This makes apples-to-apples comparisons across the country extremely difficult. How can you easily compare real estate locations and income levels for the entire population? Take a look at our map to find out. Sorry about the sniffles, fighting off this cold, man. And this is howmuch.net. And there's tons of stuff on here, howmuch.net. So the hours Americans work to pay a mortgage. So let's go down. Our visual experts took a unique and creative approach to modeling the data. We started first by taking data from the U.S. Census Bureau, and I just did a video on that, how much I love the Census Bureau, to find out the median income for people in 98 of the biggest cities in the U.S. Using a 40-hour work week as a standard, we calculated an average hourly rate. This levels the playing field this levels the playing field between all the different types of jobs in the country. Some people make a salary, some people are paid by the hour. Next, using Zillow, we figure out the median housing price for each city and determine a monthly mortgage payment. Most people take out a 30-year loan, so that's what we use too. Finally, we compared the two numbers to see how long you'd have to work each month to make that mortgage payment. We color-coded and mapped the results in 3D, revealing a couple of key insights into the housing market and income inequality in the U.S. The red bar represent the places where you have to work the most hours to keep the roof over your head. New York, Los Angeles, Miami, San Francisco. You put in more than 100 hours to make monthly payments just for housing. That's per month. That's longer than 2.5 weeks, meaning well over 50% of your take-home pay. Not surprisingly, unaffordable places are located on either coastline. In fact, 8 of the 10 most expensive places to live are all in California. So let's look at the visual here. We got Seattle's number 12. So remember, if you take 40 hours in a work week, you take times, it's basically 2,080 hours in a typical work year, 40 hours a week, all right? So 40 hours a week, you take times that by 6 or by 4, you have 160 hours. So 160 in Seattle, you get 73 hours. So we're taking 73 divided by 160. That means 45% of your pay is going to your mortgage. That's crazy. And that's after tax. So I don't even know how you figured that out. You take 40, that's 45% of your pay. That's before you pay taxes. And you still got to pay tax on that. Again, going back to the thing called imputed income, which is you don't have a mortgage, you don't have a rent to pay, which means you don't need the money in which to pay the rent or pay the bill, which means you don't pay tax on it. All right, 73 hours. Number 10 is San Jose, 74 hours. San Francisco is number 4. You need to work 107 hours. You only got 160 hours in the work week. So you're working 67% just to put the roof over your head. And I guarantee you, a lot of these people in San Francisco aren't working 40-hour work weeks. Boston's number 5 at 95 hours. There's Cleveland at 20. That's what I'm talking about. Cleveland's there's Toledo, 17 lowest. So in Toledo, you need 17 divided by 160. That's 10%. 10% of the time you work in Toledo. There's Memphis, Tennessee, Wichita, Kansas. Well, they don't have anything in Atlanta. Interesting. There's Georgia. That's less than 60, number of hours less than 60. That's Atlanta right there. So less than 60, or is that 70? I can't tell. That's less than 60. Yeah. So Atlanta's less than 60. So let's just say it's 55 divided by 140. And Atlanta's 40% roughly. The green is less than 36. Where's my South Dakota right there? Don't have anything for South Dakota. Milwaukee, 26 hours. But who'd want to live up there? Not saying I don't want to live up there. I'm just saying I don't want to live up there because it's too cold for me. Here's Tucson. There's Phoenix right there. Phoenix is less than 70, so Phoenix isn't cheap anymore. There's Tucson, which is less than, I can't tell if that's 60 or 48. I'm not sure. And there's was that New Orleans? I can't tell. It looks like New Orleans, which is pretty high too. That's crazy. Where's Mobile, Alabama? Right in there. It doesn't give you a thing. Memphis, I guess that's got to be Nashville right there, 60. Anyway, it's interesting. The green, you got, I guess that's El Paso or Amarillo. I'm not sure what that is in New Mexico. Is that Spokane? You got Nebraska, Iowa, the Midwest. Still, everyone thinks the South's the cheapest. It's actually the Midwest. Look at that. Other than Chicago, I'm not sure what that is right there. I'm not sure what town that is. But what's that in Indiana? I can't. Fort Wayne, Indiana. But anyway, it's interesting. So if you want to live in a cheaper place, the Midwest is for you. The some parts of the South for sure. And here's Virginia. Oh, that's North Carolina. I can't tell what towns those are. But anyway, so they give us the top 10, the most expensive. Miami, Florida. Wow, number 3. Yeah, right there. Whoosh. I wish they'd give us the checker data and calculations here. Oh, but they also say here real quick, although most of the expensive places are concentrated on the coast, you can find affordable housing almost anywhere in the country. The best places tend to be old manufacturing cities like Toledo and Memphis. Memphis, man, I tell you what. That's right. You don't need to work past lunch on Wednesday to earn enough to make the mortgage payment for the whole year. I'm telling you, man, unless you're, I'm telling you, there's something to be said about just living in, I don't know about Toledo, but certainly Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good night, Huntsville, Alabama. I mean, right up in here, this whole area right here, wonderful. And, you work until lunch on Wednesday and you got your whole house paid for. It's not a bad deal. Whereas Boston, I love Boston, but look at that. You got to work 95 hours. That's over half of your work week is dedicated to just paying your house. Oh man, more charts. Why? Why do you give me charts and I can't? 30. Okay, so here they got how many hours Americans need to work to pay off the mortgage. Cleveland's number 3, Buffalo, Baltimore. I got a couple good friends live in Baltimore. They like it. I think Baltimore gets a bad rap because all the riots and stuff. But just like every place, there are parts that are good. I don't know anything about Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I know parts of Indiana. Columbus, Indiana, that seems like a nice place. Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio seems like a great place there. The median home listing price, oh, yeah, right there. I'm going to do a video on this right there. Gilbert, Arizona. I remember Gilbert, Arizona. That was way out in the boondocks when I lived there, and I don't think it is so much. Garland, Texas. I'm not familiar with that. Anchorage, Alaska. El Paso, Columbus. All right, so if I had the top 10, or I guess 20, if I had my choice, Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not a big fan of that. I love Corpus Christi. They got minor league hockey, baseball team. They're AA, the Corpus Christi Hooks. Gone to see them. I've seen it play a couple of times. Love it. A fan of Winston-Salem. Arizona's just too hot for me. Columbus, Ohio looks like a nice place. I'm not familiar with Indianapolis. I don't think I've ever been there. Definitely can't live in Milwaukee. I'm sure there's some places outside of Fort Wayne that are nice. Wichita, don't know anything about it. I'm just never going to move back to Maryland. I can't. Buffalo, too cold. Cleveland, don't know anything about it. Memphis, there's some areas outside of Memphis that are fantastic. Got a good friend lives in St. Louis. Virginia Beach. Chandler. Oh, man. Anyway, Spokane right there. I'm looking for South Dakota. I got South Dakota on the brain. I tell my wife, South Dakota, let's just take a look at old South Dakota, Rapid City. I don't know why, but South Dakota, because it's dry. The humidity eats me alive. Ooh, right now in Rapid City, South Dakota, 13 degrees. I just like the dry, but they still have some green, and it feels like -2. Look at that. -2. Ooh. And where I'm from in Maine, oops. Let's see here. And Peaks Island is 43 right now, and it feels like 36. That's Peaks Island, Maine. All right, but anyway, that's pretty interesting. If you go down here, Colorado Springs, it's I can't tell. My wife was a big fan of Colorado Springs. Raleigh's too busy for me. Durham, not all that familiar with it. San Antonio, we used to live there. This is pretty cool. I just wonder if they got Atlanta on here someplace. I wonder if I can just go click F, Atlanta. Yeah, right there. Right after Houston. Oh, right before Austin. No way, man. Yeah, Austin, way too busy for me. So Atlanta and Nashville are around the same. So let's look at Nashville. Yeah, so there's Nashville right there. Yeah, so there you go. Atlanta and Nashville right about the same. Yep, that doesn't surprise me. And then they got Austin about the same down here. That's Austin. That's San Antonio, I think, right there. And that's Austin. Anyway, interesting. There's another chart. I'll do another one here. We're not that. The most valuable states in America. Lots of good stuff in here on this. I love it, man. Where the money is in America. Anyway, I hope you like this. As always, subscribe. Go to howmuch.net, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks now.